We're talking about the Cardinals game on Saturday, but I want to talk about one player in particular, Wolf, and I'm not trying to say that nobody else had a good game, but one player in particular, Trey Benson looked a lot better against the Colts than he did against the Saints. Both very small sample sizes, both with a bunch of non-starters out there either blocking for him or trying to tackle him. But he looked on Saturday like the guy that a lot of people are saying could be the best running back in the draft.
Okay, can I just say this, my brothers, right now, going into game number 2 of the preseason, that's what I wanted to see more than anything else was Trey Benson.
You did say that, actually, on Friday.
I did.
Yeah.
I wanted to see Trey Benson assert himself. I wanted to see him go out there and run with authority. And Trey Benson ran the ball with authority, and it was joyful to watch, was it not? He was decisive, and he ran more north-south than he has, and that tells me somebody said something to him. Okay? And this is the great thing about coaching. This is the reason why. You've got to be able to coach. You got to be able to walk up and say something to a kid. Hey, listen, we know you've got breakaway speed. We understand that you've got great feet. But sometimes there comes a time where you got to third rail somebody. Run right over them.
It was refreshing to see him do that. And this thought sort of hit me during that game. I think the reason a lot of people are excited about Trey Benson or all in on Trey Benson, it's not just because he might be the best running back in this draft. It's like the first time in this Monty Austin, Fort Jonathan Gannon era where you went out and got somebody that's almost a luxury. You know what I mean? Because you do already have James Conner. Whereas like just at every other position, it's like we better get somebody or we don't have enough players.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like we have to get 3 defensive linemen or we don't have enough defensive. Everything has been so like building from the foundation level. Everything's been so like survival mode on defense. Like we have to get these guys in here because we don't have enough players that play this position. Trey Benson's like, hey, we may have got the best running back in the draft, and we don't really need him yet compared to some of these teams around this league that don't even have a starting running back.
No, you're right. And, again, this is the great thing about it. When they drafted Trey Benson, they were saying, we're going to be able to actually line up, and if James Conner goes down, we're going to be able to run our offense. And you know how important that is, especially if you're going to run the ball with some authority and be a physical rushing team right now. Trey Benson can actually do that. Now, here's the thing. You got to be really, really careful because Trey Benson is a guy that can take it to the house. Okay, yeah. Now he's a guy who can take it to the house. And not only that, he runs the ball differently. You're not going to ask Trey Benson, we want you to run the ball just like James Conner runs the ball. You're not going to ask him to do that, Luke.
Yeah.
You do want him, because he is bigger, you do want him to, from time to time, choose that third rail and jack somebody. Dip and rip. Finish these runs. You do want him to be able to do that. And that's something he can actually cultivate himself and develop over time. But you don't want to take away his natural instinct as well. You don't want to do that. But it tells me that somebody said to him, hey, listen, you've got to, more than always trying to hit a home run, sometimes you got to jack a brother up. And I love that.
And he almost hit a home run in that game, too. And it sheds light on the fact that, I don't know, is there a position you think they're deeper at than running back? I mean, they're pretty deep at running back now.
I know. I am with you on that one. I think of DJ Dallas immediately and how well DJ Dallas has performed in terms of returning the ball, whether it's punt return or kick return.
Yeah. No, you've got so much depth. Dallas. Okay, I got that.
And he's such a good. Did you play that?
I played that. Yeah.
That was interesting right there. Okay.
It's right there. Every time DJ Dallas does something, we're going to play.
Yeah, he's so thick. He's so wide. He's a different kind of back as well, and yet he runs the ball with authority. On the broadcast, I told Dave he's like a weeble.
You did?
He's like a weeble. They wobble, but they don't fall down. He just hammered a couple of dudes.
If you caught Dave's response, but he was like, oh, it's a nice reference from 1978.
But it's appropriate, David. What are you talking about? It's so appropriate.
It's true.
You couldn't knock him off his feet. His base is so wide and thick. And once again, of all the guys that kind of showed up physicality-wise, offensively, in the joint practices, it was DJ Dallas.
Well, and we'll get back into this in a little bit because we got to hit the break, but like Amari DiMercato, they don't seem to just like be done with him.
Amari DiMercato, he's going to be here too.
And you mentioned on the broadcast, I think this was you. You said every time Michael Carter seems to do something memorable every game.
Yes.
So because you look and you're like,
see,
okay,
I told David that.
You did.
And David ripped that and just starts talking about it every time he gets in there. Every time Michael Carter does anything, David just ripped it and starts talking about it.
It's, I mean, this did happen. I heard this. By the way, you got your shirt.
Tasted Pash.
And your shirt was like.
You know I love you. Knock it off.
Your shirt was so new that I think they could see it from the field.
Oh, it was new.
crisp.
I had to adjust the white balance on my TV.
I have to thank the sideline reporter, Paul Calvisi, of course.
Wow.
The sideline reporter, ladies and gentlemen. I have to thank Paulie because I was purchasing this shirt, of course. And Paul walked up and said, could you go ahead and actually press this? This man is going to be on television. That's what he said.
Paulie press?
Yes. Paulie went up there and said, hey, press this.
Paulie,
would you press it for him? And that's exactly what they did.
It's a good thing.
Although I took care of Renee. I'm just saying, ladies.
It's probably a good thing he stepped in. Otherwise, you would have had like that wrinkle the shirt has when you first buy it.
Yes.
Been like right down the front of the shirt.
Right.
Yeah, maybe
Brutal.
a tag.
I would have ironed it, but probably burned it in the process. So.
Just a big iron mark on the front of it, and you wouldn't have had time to go get another one.
Thanks for watching Wolf and Luke. Tap to see more and click the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.